wind east at 7 miles an hour, producing a wind chill of 34, pressure 29.79 inches and steady. In McCall, cloudy, temperature 42 degrees, dew point 25, relative humidity 50%, wind north at 12 miles an hour, pressure 29.70 inches.
Well, I just got finished showing you the Etón Scorpion in use out in the rain. It has stopped raining now, so I can give you a little closer look without all the water being involved. First thing you can see is the large solar panel for charging the batteries. With the batteries fully depleted, under partly cloudy skies, it took approximately 5 hours to charge the batteries. The other way that you could charge the batteries in this unit is to deploy the hand crank. Use this. This is the quick way to get it done. Basically, it's 500 turns to fully charge depleted batteries. That equates to about 2.5 to 3 minutes of cranking time. On the side here, we have the on-off button for the flashlight, up and down arrows for radio tuning, the digital display, plus and minus for volume control, the mode selector button. This is to go between AM, FM, weather band, and cell phone charging modes, and an on-off switch. One thing to note about the digital display, it does have a clock. If the batteries are totally depleted, there is no battery backup for the clock, so you will need to reset it. On the other side, we have a bottle opener. It would have made a little more sense to me if it would have been mounted sideways for more leverage when opening the bottles, but it does work in the manner it's installed. You have an aluminum carabiner for clipping onto your pack. There is also an antenna. If you need better reception on any of your radio stations, just deploy the antenna. One thing to note, it's very important, is this rubber cover here on the input-output section. You always want to keep this in place anytime you're around water, splashing water, rain, because there are ports here where water can easily enter the unit and damage it. You have your mono headphone port, you have an auxiliary input port for an iPod, you have a USB charging port, and a DC in port for power. It does not come with a DC adapter, so I wasn't able to test this. On the USB charging, I cranked on this unit for about 30 minutes while it was connected to my Droid smartphone. And with 30 minutes of crank time, I was able to power up my Droid, start to make a phone call, and then it went dead. The Etón website states that with 10 to 15 minutes of cranking, a cell phone should have 1 to 2 minutes of talk time. Now, all cell phones are different, battery requirements are different, so your mileage is going to vary on that. But you would probably have better luck with a standard cell phone than with a smartphone type unit. There's all kinds of USB adapters that are available at the Etón website. They can direct you to the right place so that you can connect your cell phone to this. On the flashlight side, you have 3 white LEDs. These LEDs provide good illumination for me for between 20 to 30 feet. After that, the spread of the beam is just so wide that it begins to lose its brightness. This flashlight, when it was in use on its own, lasted about 3.5 hours. And with the radio has a volume setting, 30 is the maximum volume. I left the radio set at volume level 25, turned on the flashlight, and this unit ran for a little over 2 hours before I had to start cranking on it to get more power to the batteries. And again, anytime it starts getting low on juice, just open up the crank, a few turns, and you start getting battery power again into the unit. So, 3 white LEDs for illumination, and your radio.
Low temperature 44 occurred at
Weather band.
5:41 a.m. No precipitation fell today.
Great little unit. I wish it was fully waterproof. It's only IPX4 rated. That means it's splash proof. You can take some splashes on this unit. It can take some rain, but it cannot be submerged, and it cannot take long periods of rain. I would not use the crank mechanism or deploy the antenna in the rain, or the water might enter this unit. And again, keep that rubber cover in all times when this is around water. Otherwise, I like this. It's the other thing I wish it did is I wish the USB charging for the cell phone worked off of solar. Right now, it only works on the crank. Even at that, it's a nice unit. I think I'm going to put this guy in my home emergency supplies and maybe even put it in my car when I'm traveling. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review of the Etón Scorpion. This is Tim for GearTrail.com, and I'll see you out on the trail.